Hello everybody. As I promised, I was going to make a video about Amish yogurt, the Amish Kefir, yogurt kefir, very similar. So again, I am not a doctor and I am not a nutritionist. I'm just a biotech engineer that's been working towards improving my health, removing multiple diseases, autoimmune diseases, and it's been a slow progress. We started as a carnivore. Then after a couple of years as a carnivore, I was only able to eat raw beef, and I did a microbiome transplant, which is a very risky procedure for most people. It's very hard to find a donor, very easy to get contaminated. It's very hard to determine what donors may not have what diseases. That's going to be transferable to you. It could be a costly procedure if you go and go through the medical industry to do it, somewhere around $10,000–$15,000. And not everyone has the education, experience, and training that I have to do this successfully and safely at home. Even the best of doctors still have contamination and error and issues. It also has a lot to do with the diet of not just the donor, but the recipient. If you continue to eat carbohydrates, that will continue to cause a problem because the bacteria that you have will continue to grow, and the one you're receiving, you're just adding more fuel to the flame. So after the microbiome transplant, I was able to eat quite a few dairy products, most cheeses, but I still could not process yogurt. Or kefir, any store brand yogurt and kefir, I just could not process it. It would cause me a lot of pain in the bladder. I couldn't sleep for days after the second day I consumed it. And a friend of mine introduced me to this strong kefir A2. So A2 is a type of milk. There are two types of milk, two types of cows, A1 and A2. And they have different proteins that are easier to process. I bought the kefir from an Amish company that makes it and distributes it. It's very hard to get. It's very difficult to find it in many areas. I got it from Miami from a friend, and I just reproduce it. All you need is a teaspoon from that, and put it in A2 milk, leave it for 48 hours. I'm actually making some more here. Within 24 hours it's made. It is not everybody's cup of tea. It has a very strong sulfur taste. I recommend, I personally, I don't have a problem with it, but I like eating a lot of salt. Salt is very healthy. So I mix it with a kefir and water, a little bit of water, a lot of salt. I make a smoothie and I drink that, and my health improves, and my ability to process dairy speeds up incredibly. And the reason I came across this also was that during my research I ran into a study that talked about the Mongolian tribes. The Mongolian tribes, for the most part, that were tested during this study, they're lactose intolerant. They don't have the genetics to process lactose, yet they consume, I think, about 3 times more dairy than the best of us, and they have no side effects, no issue. And one of the problems is that our industry has trying to save us from 1 or 2 people getting sick a year, has basically sterilized anything that's dairy. So the bacteria that's in there breaking it is kind of like when we eat kimchi, we infect ourselves. The stomach has a high pH, a low pH, and it kills pretty much anything. It stops from getting in. But trying to save a couple of people, we have condemned pretty much most of the population, because now most people can't process dairy because they don't have the bacteria in their gut. And we keep on eating junk that keeps on killing the bacteria, and keep on taking antibiotics. So our diversity in our microbiome doesn't allow us to process pretty much most of dairy. So a lot of people are becoming lactose intolerant or dairy intolerant, And this seems to be the key. The number of people drinking this and recording health benefits is staggering, because this has somewhere around up to 50 bacteria. You can buy all the probiotics in the world. They are not going to replace this, because when the milk comes out, it's designed to have a microbiome rich environment. So the baby, human baby, goat baby, cow, inherits that microbiome from the mother. And the microbiome is what actually allows you to process and digest the dairy. And although I've been a carnivore, not a high carnivore anymore, but a carnivore for a very long time, a proponent of the carnivore diet, I understand and see that it is very difficult to live a social life when you can't process or eat anything except for meat. And at that time when I did it, I was just processing raw meat. I could not process anything else. But this is one of the things that have helped me process a lot more foods and even feel healthier. I can't explain how good this thing is enough. I mean, one of the hardest things for me to give up when I developed chronic bladder pain was dairy. I went through coconut milk and other things, and they were not quite the same. But I'm happy enjoying dairy again, having a little bit of cream with my tea in the morning, and a smoothie here and there, which I don't do it often, but it is very nice to enjoy. So I hope this helped you. And I mean, I don't sell this, but if you're nearby Jacksonville, Florida, and you need a sample, I'd be more than happy to give you. All you need is a spoon of this. You can probably buy the grains, but I can't recommend anyone. I only know the Amish yogurt company. They're under a lot of stress by the Food and Drug Administration. They have a huge battle out there with them, and because the Food and Drug Administration just wants sterile product, which is continue to make us sick. Food should not be as clean as, I mean, it should be clean, but not as clean as the expectation of the Food and Drug Administration is, because your stomach, your colon has about 500 different species of bacteria and 1 trillion. There is actually more DNA from bacteria than DNA from a human being. And this can help you. Again, about 50 different bacteria. The best probiotic has somewhere around 10, maybe 25, and it's all freeze-dried. Freeze-dried, you at best you're going to have a recovery of 70% of organisms. This thing, I mean, the way it smells, it's just, at first it's going to be nauseating. You just got to gulp it. Salt, water, maybe some dry mint. It improves the taste. And my girlfriend could not stomach it before. Finally today I made her about, with her regular yogurt, I made her about a finger full of this kefir, and she drank it just fine. So you can mix it with other things, help put honey in it if you need to. But I'm telling you, this is unbelievable. I've seen a lot of people talk about it and give great praises to this, saving their health and help improving their health and life. And I have nothing negative about this. And if you have an issue with different type of lactose, you could do this with A2, or you can do it with goat milk. It's not it will grow the same organisms. It might take 1 or 2 cultures to get rid of the original dairy and lactose in it. But again, I hope this helps you, and I'll try to please join. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is not something I enjoy doing, but after suffering for 17 years with autoimmune diseases, it is just, and not being able through through the biotech industry to help as many people as I've been able to help in my private work. I definitely don't wish any of these diseases into anybody. It is just horrible. Don't know how I made it this far, but life is good again. sun shines, I'm happy, I'm strong once again, I'm healthy. And this is one of the many things that have helped me. This Artemisia annua, transplant, low carb diets. I think this is the past, it's the history of human beings, and the past is the future. We just lost the way, we should return to that way. Thank you. Have a great day.